Hello, this is Brian Rowe with Mythic MTG Tech here with a Bogles deck tech.
Hi, I'm Kayle Armstrong, and this is my Pauper Bogles deck. It is primarily green, splashing white for Journey in the sideboard and Ethereal Armor in the main, along with Armadillo Cloak, which is super great. The thing with the deck is that all of my creatures have hexproof or something to do, some kind of synergy with auras. The only non-hexproof creature is Aura Gnarlid, which is a beast. It's 2/2, but he gets +1/+1 for each enchantment on the battlefield, and he can't be blocked by creatures with power less than it. So that's pretty great when I'm trying to swing in and get lethal.
So what is your full creature suite here?
I run 4 Bogle, 4 Gladecover Scout, 4 Aura Gnarlid, and I also have the Ledgewalker, which can't be blocked except by creatures with flying. So extra evasion.
Nice. And then what have you got for enchantments here?
See here, I run my most favoriteest card in Magic, Rancor. So good! So good and so cheap. So obviously that pumps my creatures and gives trample, which is very important. The other key enchantment I run is Ethereal Armor, which that first strike and all of that pumping is very crucial, because majority of my creatures are just 1/1s. So being able to swing in and stay alive is kind of helpful. Additionally, I run Utopia Sprawl for ramp and some fixing. I also have Abundant Growth for fixing and card draw, because I'm primarily green, I can't really draw cards. And Commune with the Gods to get the creatures and enchantments that I'm missing. I also run Ancestral Mask, which that just makes my creatures enormous. Additionally, I don't have to control the enchantments to get the benefit of Ancestral Mask. So if my opponent plays any sort of enchantment, suddenly I'm winning. And of course, I mentioned earlier, Armadillo Cloak. There are a few things greater than having multiple Armadillo Cloaks on a single creature.
Seems to make the burn matchup pretty good at that point.
Oh yes.
So what are some of the strong matchups, and what are some of the ones that you have a little bit of trouble with?
Strong matchups are most of the Delver type decks I'm pretty okay with. Just because I'm swinging in, most of my stuff is quick and fast, so if I can get it on the board, then I'm usually okay. It's definitely crucial, like those first few turns when there's only so many counter spells available to them. And it's always better if I'm on the play on those matchups, because then they aren't able to respond to my turn 1 Boggle. Feel pretty good against burn because I have my lifelink going on there, and after sideboarding, I'm pretty good against Delver Fiend, although that can often feel like a bit of a race. Poor matchups, I am vulnerable to mono black control. That is very tricky for me to deal with. Those matches actually usually take the longest for me. One of the benefits of this deck is that win or lose, my matches are very quick, except against like mono black control or the blue black teachings. If I'm not able to get in there quick enough, that's also a tough matchup for me because they can just combo off.
So what have you got in the sideboard of the deck?
In the sideboard, see here, I have Khalni Garden to help me against the mono black control. Additionally, I have Vitality Charm because I like having options. That one allows me to put out some tokens for mono black control, or it allows me to give my creatures trample so that I can get in that those last few points. Additionally, I have Young Wolf again for mono black control. It's kind of a weak point for me. Here. Yeah. And then I have Moment's Peace for when I'm going up against like Delver Fiend. When they're swinging in for, 24, it's good to have a fog so that I can crack back at them. The Pridemage I run as a kind of both aggressive and defensive tech. So I'm able to pay one and sacrifice it to get rid of any pesky enchantments that aren't benefiting me or artifacts. But he also has that nifty Exalted. So suddenly, my Bogle is just a 2/2 by default when it's attacking. And then, depending on how the matchup is, Journey to Nowhere is pretty good for getting rid of, if they just happen to always get their Delver and they always flip their Delver, and for some reason I'm not getting good draws. Or if they're a specific combo deck, then I can Journey to Nowhere their combo creature.
Very nice. So what advice do you have to somebody who is interested in starting to play Pauper?
Get out there, find a few people to go and play with, but to not worry too much about having to, not knowing all the cards, because I still am having to always ask my opponents wait, what is this? I haven't seen this before. This looks real old. Oof. And then so to just enjoy it, have fun. It's a pretty inexpensive format, so you don't have to feel too pressured into just picking a deck and sticking with it because you invested all that money. It's pretty cheap.
So what is the cost around a deck like this?
Probably 30 to 50, I'd say.
Okay.
I mean, most of these cards I had or were able to borrow. All the Ancestral Masks are actually from my husband. But yeah, I think I probably spent maybe $15 out of pocket on this deck. Nice. So, yeah.
Any other thoughts or comments?
Find a deck, have fun with it. Bogles has a hard rap, but I mean, at the last tournament, or the last two tournaments, I was the only Bogles deck, which I found very surprising. So, yeah.
Excellent.
Have fun.
Great. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. Good luck with your next one.
Thanks.
A big thank you to Kayle Armstrong for putting together that deck tech. She won her feature match round 1 in Rags to Riches 2 and recently day 2'd the Vancouver GP. Very strong up-and-coming Magic player here in the Seattle area. Rags to Riches 3 just concluded yesterday. The top 8 decks are listed here. I'm going to be doing a little bit of coverage on it later on this week. So if you're interested in Pauper, please subscribe to the channel. It is one of my focus areas this year. Thank you to everybody who's over there on Patreon supporting Mythic MTG Tech. I greatly appreciate it. And until next time, choose the cards wisely.